Hi guys, this is Angel from PRDB Entertainment. Welcome to an interesting tutorial of the Unreal Engine 4. Now in this tutorial I'll teach you guys how to work with BlendSpace, animation blueprints, AnimGraph, event graph, variables, state machines. We're going to be working with a lot of things here. Now we're going to import a character with the animations, and basically we are doing a character from scratch. I already showed you guys on the previous video that we imported a basic character with basic animations of the animation starter pack from the marketplace on the Epic Game software. So in this one, basically what I'm going to show you guys is that I have a character with a couple of mix some of fuse animations for the project, and we're going to add those animations in the state machines and the animation blueprints and all those things to start making those animations work. Let's start with this. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to the folder character here. I'm going to create a new folder. It's going to be animations, and in the description I will leave you guys a link so you can download this project and you can view everything clearly so you don't get lost. Now here I'm going to import the character. So let's choose to import it with the skeletal mesh, the import mesh, and the import animations. In the materials and textures, click on import all. Now let's any errors that you get, just click on clear, close the window, and now go to animations. Let's import the other animations, and he's going to ask you what skeleton you're going to be using. We need to tell him that it's going to be the fuse model. Why? Because that's the name of the character that we have. I didn't change the name, so I imported with the name that it had, that is fuse model. And we're going to choose import all once again. So he's going to import every animation that I selected, and as you can see here, we already have our different animations. So right now we need to cut this animation here. We need to get the character to the top, because I don't want that animation seeing him jumping and falling. Eventually the BlendSpace will do that job, so we don't need that. We just need him in the air. We're going to remove from frame 0 to frame 25, and from frame 1 to frame 33. And this is the jumping animation that it has now. He stays still. So we're going to save that. Now we're going to create a BlendSpace. The BlendSpace is going to be used to have an idle for the character, so he can walk and he can run. Let's create a BlendSpace 1D. Right click, go to animation, choose BlendSpace 1D, choose the skeleton that is the fuse model. Let's put BlendSpace 1, no spaces, 1D. There we go. And let's get inside the BlendSpace. Now from here we can put the x-axis label, anything you want really. We're not actually going to do nothing with the label right now, so I'm just going to put here idle, walk, run. Divisions are going to be 3 only, and click on apply parameter changes. And now we're going to get our idle animation. We're going to set it on the first one. Now we're going to get our walk. Where are you? Walk forward. Here we go. And for the last one, we're going to put the run. We're going to insert here a standing run forward. Okay. Now as you can see, we do not want the character to be moving when he's doing the animations. We just need him to move the body, but not from the location he's at. So if you are lost in this and you tried this before, double click on the animation, and here you need to force it to lock the character in a specific location where it has to be. Now you have to do that in every animation that he moves, like in these ones. We need also to lock these ones up. So we're just working right now with the idle, it doesn't need it. With the walk forward is the other one, so we also need to lock this one. There we go. So when we go back to the blend space and we see, he stays in the same place. He moves the body, but he stays in the same place. Now I'm going to save this, and we already have our first BlendSpace 1D created. Now let's go to our character. Let's choose the character that we want to use by choosing the mesh. It's the Fuse Model Skeletal Mesh. And here on animations, you need to choose in the animation mode, use animation blueprint, because we're going to be using our animation blueprint. But for that, we need to create the animation blueprint first. So for that, let's go to character, let's put the animation blueprint in here, right click, go to animation, choose animation blueprint, and here again you will choose Fuse Model. We're going to put on the name animation blueprint. Very original. There we go. Now let's get inside the animation blueprint. Now here we need to work with the AnimGraph, and we also need to work with the event graph. Now first of all, in the event graph we're going to be using two variables. One is going to be a boolean and the other one is going to be the float. Now the float is going to read from the character the movement and how fast is he going. So this one is going to be named character speed. Now for the boolean, what it does, it tells if it's true or not, if it's enabled or disabled. That's the way it works. Now if you guys don't know how to work with variables, I recommend a couple of videos that I have for variables in my channel. Try to search them on the playlist, you will find them there. We got a lot of tutorials of different variables on how to work with them, and I give a couple of tips on how you can use them and other things like for timers and stuff like that. So eventually you will find a lot of those videos really useful for you right now if you don't know how to work with variables. So let's create our two variables first of all. Like I said, one is going to be a boolean and the other one is going to be the float. Now the boolean, the float, is going to be character speed. And for the boolean is going to say is in air. The boolean is going to ask if the player is in the air, if the character is in the air. I'm going to put here character. Player, like I don't think you're going to be in the air when you're going to be playing. Okay, so let's compile so we get the properties. Now as you can see, for the boolean you get the value to enable or disable, to tell them if it's true or if it's not, if it is doing something or if it's not doing something, depending on what you're using a boolean variable for. Now for the speed, it works per percent. So in this case, it will just get the percent of speed of the character moving around the map, and he will tell him how much is the percent. Now this has to be done here. Now first of all, I'm going to get movement component, and I'm going to start working with the properties for the boolean variable. The character is in air? Yes? No? Okay. So now we need to get the function is falling, and from here, as you can see, it has a return value that is red, because this is supposed to be a boolean value that we're going to give here. So for that, we're just going to drag the variable, and we're going to set it, and we're going to link it up with the characters in there. Okay, now this one we can link it up, this one over here. Let me double click on this. Let me pull it up. There we go. So now we need to get the velocity of the character, because now we're gonna be working with the speed. So let's put here get velocity, and from here we need to get the vector. Get vector. What was it? I forgot. Vector length. The vector length. That's very important. Vector length. There we go. And from here we're going to set our variable. We're going to link these two up, and this one with the vector length. So right now here we don't need to do nothing else. This thing here is already set up. There we go. We're already telling if he's going to read the character. Even if the character is in the air, then he's going to tell him that it's true. If it's not in the air, it's in the ground, the map, and the terrain, then he's going to uncheck this by default on his value. Now for the speed, he's going to be watching if you move the character, and he's going to be telling him by percent how much speed you are using on the moment for moving around. Okay, so now that we have our event graph saved, we don't need to do nothing else here, so we can forget about this area here. And now let's go to the AnimGraph. Now in the AnimGraph, as you can see, you have in the final animation pose. From here we need to connect it with a state machine. So right click, choose on state machine, link it up. Let's give it a name. Let's put here character, oh my god, character state. We're going inside, and from here on the entry we're going to add a state, and this one's going to be idle, walk, and run. So in here we need to insert our BlendSpace. We need to connect it with the final animation pose. Now the BlendSpace needs to read the speed that he's going to be working the animations, and for that's why we created our character speed variable that is a float. From here we need to connect this with the BlendSpace, and from here he will know how much speed you are using when you are moving your character. Okay, so if we compile this, you can see that he starts getting the animation. Let's close it for a moment and let's hit play. And I forgot, we need to choose on our character, we need to choose the animation blueprint like I said before. When you choose the mesh, it says the animation mode. You're going to choose use animation blueprint, and from here we're going to choose our animation that we created, that was animation blueprint underscore blueprint. There we go. Let's compile, play, and as you can see, now he is walking. Now the next step is going to be the last step on this video, on this one. Eventually we will have like 3 more videos with aim offset animations and stuff like that, and for crouching animations, walking right, left. We still have a lot of work, guys. Too much. Okay, so as you can see, when he jumps, we cannot see a jumping animation, and that's the other animation that we cut off by frames when we started the project. That's the one that we're going to be adding now. So let's go back to our animation blueprint, and from here we're going to drag out another state. This one's going to be jump, and in here we're going to tell him, well, not we, the variable, the boolean variable is going to tell him if he's on the air or not. If he's on the air, then he can enter to the transition. If not, you cannot play the animation. Okay, so inside the jump we need to put the animation. In this case we don't need to use a BlendSpace, we need to use the normal animation that we have. Let's go back, And as soon as he finishes, that he goes down to the ground, we want the character to stay on the idle animation once again. So we need to drag once again to the idle animation. Now in here, we need to tell him that if he is not in the air anymore, then he can enter to the transition on going to the idle animation. So we need to get once again our variable, but in this time we need to compare, and we're going to use boolean not, where is it, not boolean, okay. So it's not enabled, it's not in the air, it's not doing nothing, it's not flying, and we're going to connect it with the can enter to the transition. Now let's compile, let's go back, and now let's play. We can walk, and if we jump, you can see that he's doing the animation of jumping. Now you can add animations of jumping, maybe the character moving his hands, a little bit his body, a little bit his leg, while he's on the air only. Do not choose animations that you see that the character starts jumping from the ground, because it's really hard to work with those type of animations. Let the BlendSpace and the state machine, the animation blueprint, let him do her job. That is what he's doing right now. Right now when he jumps, he pulls up his legs and his arms, and when he falls, he just pulls them down. So the BlendSpace, the state machine, the animation graph, he is doing that. It's not part of the jumping animation. The setup that you just made is doing that. So be wise on which animations you're going to be using for your character. Well guys, this is Angel from PRDB Entertainment. Once again, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up if you liked the video. And if you have any questions, just comment on the box below. I'll be here to answer all of you guys. And remember, design, create, and always make it look good. Bye.